Petty revenge can be so sweet. I'm your host, Tight. Let's see who got a treat. Our first one is from Vamp Archer. I had a coworker who was one of the worst human beings I've ever met in real life. He was very misogynistic, calling all the women that worked there girl, demanding they do things for him while he did fuck all, constantly flirting with them regardless if they were single or showed any interest, and would scream profanities in their face if they didn't fall in line. Management dragged their feet doing anything, despite the constant issues and the fact they were aware the quality of his work was terrible. I'm not a woman, but many of my friends there were women, and when I seen him yell,
"Hey girl, go get me this now!"
then pitch a fit like a toddler when they refused, it really pissed me off. I told people I worked with to tell on him if they hit on them and wouldn't leave them alone, because I can't stand that shit. I heard that he had no transportation and was pressuring people to take him home. One night, he told me he needed a ride home. It was midnight. Me, him, and the manager were the only people left at the end of the night. I told him I couldn't. He wouldn't listen. He followed me to my car anyway. I got in, locked the doors, and he started banging on my window like a psychopath, telling me I better fucking take him home. Keep in mind, it was pitch black out in an empty parking lot with no security at midnight. He could have attacked me or jumped in and stole my car, and my odds of stopping him would have been slim. I put the car in reverse, backed out, and blew out of that lot. The manager left ahead of me, so he was left in that lot all alone. There is zero public transport and probably no Uber or Lyft either. The town I drive to for work is completely car dependent, so anti-public transport. Sidewalks don't even exist. I didn't feel bad about it either. Your transportation is your problem. He's not a minor. He's 27 years old. He's a big boy who can figure out his business. You can believe he didn't ask me for a ride again, or fuck with me. The aftermath. This happened months ago. Want to know how it ends? Turns out he was, indeed, a crazy person. A viral video of him came out showing him getting out of a car. A coworker who felt bad gave him a ride, in a fit of road rage, and getting into a fist fight with another driver, right in the middle of a busy highway with hundreds of cars swerving, trying not to hit him. He was clearly identifiable, and people in the comments were using his legal name. Apparently, that still wasn't enough to fire him. He rather anticlimactically finally ran his mouth at the female general manager, and she told him, "Get the fuck out of my business," and fired him on the spot. Believe me, that night, I had some shots in celebration. I swear, it doesn't matter what kind of job you get into, there's always that one crazy person that you can just tell is fucking nuts. What I find funny though is how management did absolutely nothing until the general manager finally did something. Those managers could definitely learn a lesson from her. This next one is by Greenest Chicken. So I, 22 male, had to take the metro to go somewhere today and it was pretty full. But I noticed that there was a teenager, 16 male, taking up 5 spaces with his bag, and him laying down, and him playing loud music with his phone. I politely asked him to move his bag so I could sit, and he rolled his eyes, smirked, and said,
"Nah, I don't think so, man."
This annoyed me greatly, and if it weren't for his tone and the music, I probably wouldn't have escalated harder. But I just grabbed his bag, felt the weight to check for electronics, and then threw it somewhere further along the train. Of course, he instantly got mad and asked me what the fuck I was doing and that I'd better go get his bag. Then I just told him he could either fight me or go get his bag himself. Unfortunately, I'm 90 kilograms and pretty strong, and he was some lanky teenager. I don't think he expected that, but after 5 seconds, he went to go get his bag. I took the space and invited other standing people to go sit down. He came back to no space and started yelling at us. I reminded him again that the only way I would move is if he would start a fight with me. Again, he seemed to consider it, but ended up storming away eventually. I get that I'm kind of a bully in this situation, but man, some people just need to learn the world doesn't cater to them. I mean, if you're gonna be inconsiderate and take up 5 spaces, lay down, and then try to act like a fucking jackass, don't be surprised when people treat you like the jackass that you are. And while some may see this as bullying to an extent, the OP tried to ask nicely first. And our final one is from Geraldo1. Years ago, I decided to go back to school for a career pivot. I had to keep expenses low, so I moved into a sort of shared student apartment in the basement of an old apartment building. We each had our own locked rooms along with a hallway, but had a shared kitchen and bathrooms. No one really socialized beyond reminders to e-transfer for the shared internet. One night I got home from classes and work around 10 p.m. and decided to make myself a frozen pizza. Cash was tight, so it was a bit of a luxury food item for me. I popped it in the oven at like 375, set an alarm, and went back to my room to wait the 25-ish minutes recommended by the packaging. About halfway through the cook time, I heard the oven door open, as it was old and always made a loud noise. A few seconds after, I heard one of the other students closing their bedroom door. I went to check the oven and saw someone had put a big tray of chicken breasts in the oven too. I thought nothing of it and went back to my room until the timer was done. When I went out there to pull out my pizza, it was mostly burnt. The fucker had put his stuff in the oven and cranked it up to 425 without telling me. Fine, put your shit in the oven, but don't change the cook temp without saying anything. To me, that is a huge dick move. The pizza was just burnt enough to be terrible, but I still had to eat it. After fuming internally for a minute or two and having a minor existential crisis about how pitiful my life is, I went back to the kitchen area in a rage and cranked the oven up to 500, with his chicken still in there. After a bit, I heard the smoke alarm going off, and shortly after, someone swearing. I stepped out into the darkened hallway and, in a slightly ominous tone, said, "Everything all good, bud?" He stammered something about being fine and was trying to scrape the charred chicken off the baking sheet. I went back into my room and ate the rest of my terrible pizza. I moved out not long after that. Fuck your chicken. I definitely agree with what OP said about it being fine to put something in the oven and, share the oven since it's a shared cooking space, but if you have to change the temperature, at least say something. Such a fantastic petty revenge against the chicken man. Alright, that's enough pettiness for the day. Well, that wraps up this episode of Petty Revenge. If you liked the video, please drop a like, share my content on all of your social media, subscribe if you haven't already, and make sure to hit that bell so you're notified every time I upload, and drop a comment down below. It really helps with the algorithm and helps new people find my channel. Thanks for watching, thanks to my patrons and super thanks contributors. Have a great day and stay safe out there.